And while all those beautiful energies are still swirling around from that divine message, I invite you to bring your awareness back into your body. If you've had your eyes closed, I invite you, open up your eyes. You may even wish to put a smile on your face because we are moving into a whole new section of the program where we get to meet an amazing individual doing amazing things on the planet. And her name is Victoria Rader, and I want to make sure she's on the Zoom feed with us. Victoria, are you there?
I am thrilled to be here.
Oh, well, we are so thrilled to have you. And Lee and I want to tell everyone about you.
It's so great in our program. We get to meet new people that we've never met before, and it expands everything that we teach and do. Victoria Rader is one of them. She's PhD, possibility coach, transformational speaker, and the founder of You to Shine. She's an interdimensional she's an interdimensional person, first of all. She's an international best-selling author of Prosper Me, the 35 Universal Laws to Make Money Work for You, as well as 3 other books. She is a creator of Empower Me and Master Me apps and founder of Free Me EFT and Quantum Freedom.
Victoria empowers her clients to grow in all areas of their life through the proven formula of success so that they have more peace, purpose, and prosperity. In 2009, during the recession, she became a successful top 1% of the real estate agents while homeschooling her kids. I love that. Just if you want to be successful, give it to a mum because they're doing everything, right? And Victoria started training and seeing the limitations imposed by the subconscious mind. And that's when she decided to go and receive a PhD in metaphysics to better understand how we create our daily reality.
In her practice, Victoria witnessed physical healings for her clients, including a miraculous heart healing for her nephew, as well as practical powerful shifts in finance and career and relationships. I'd like to hear some of those stories, Victoria. Victoria has been certified in many energy healing modalities, traditional success coaching approaches, and founded Free Me EFT and Quantum Freedom Techniques as a way to free one's mind. You probably did that all in your spare time, Victoria. And also, I've just told everybody you're an interdimensional person. Welcome to our program.
I love that. I think I will start there and I will expand that. I think, when the message is coming through, it is the message we want to heed, to follow, and to expand. So I want to talk about interdimensions and dimensions because I want to learn as I speak what comes through. And I think all of us are such gorgeous, beautiful, multi-dimensional beings. But I think being interdimensional being is a reminder of connection between those dimensions. And I think there is a globe-wide addiction that is being healed from being addicted to one side of who we are and maybe judging anybody else for the lack of or the difference of the other sides that they are. So I want to start my story kind of in the middle and then go back to the origin. So this kind of more in the middle, recent part of this whole dimension thing happened in March 2021 only. Yeah, it's only been a year. So March 2021, I have a full schedule. I have so many things and talks and, groups of clients. I'm looking a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit overworking it. And I have this deep inner knowing, this still small voice that we can call different ways. We can call it the Spirit of God. We can call it the knowing, the guidance, however you have come to understand the knowing. But without mistake, I hear clear your March. Just clear the whole months. So I follow. I clear the whole months. And a little part of me gets very excited saying, wait a minute, you haven't taken a month-long break in a very long time. This is probably for you to love you. You teach people to love themselves. Just let's learn, do nothing. I have not mastered that. This is probably my life's journey to learn to do nothing. I cannot teach on that, not my strength. And so within about half hour of that stillness of just being and saying, okay, I am going to just be and I'm going to allow, I get another prompting. And the prompting says, write the book. Sit down, write the book. Now, there's a difference between being a writer and being an author. You know, being an author, you have great ideas. All of us, I believe, have come to author something amazing, to channel through us the unique aspect of the message for which we have been created. Only you and you alone can channel that unique message for which you've come. And you're the author of that message. Some of us have a lot of those messages. And so we have a lot of ideas that we author. But a writer is somebody who has ability to frame that idea. And I have to confess, I am a joyful author. I am a little bit different of a writer. And so it was a challenge for me to shift over to writing the book, a challenge and a commitment. And when I face a challenge and a commitment, just like Nike, I just do it. I sit down, I block 3 minutes. And the book that was been written through me, what I thought, was a very different book from what came out. One message that came through was, I thought it would be a love me book. And I saw me as little M, big E. And this is where I want to go back to those inner dimensions and dimensions, and then go back to my childhood to see how it all started. Little M, big E. Now, the marketing professional side of me says, this must be channeling a revelation, an insight for perfect marketing opportunity. I'll put the book in, it'll be the pattern interrupt, people will be like me, and they'll start wondering, why is it? Only to wake up the next morning and the spirit say, isn't that interesting how you came up with your own answer? Wouldn't you want to know why it's little M, big E? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, I think I would like to know. And this is where the dimensions came in. Because a part of us wants to believe we're only eternal essence and expanding energy. The big E, eternal essence and expanding energy. And the other part of the earth keeps being addicted to the mortal matter that manifests materially. And there's a little bit of a tension between the two. I've even heard in spiritual circles say, well, I'm not this physical body. Am I not? And why has my eternal energy chosen this physical experience? Or is it a part of who I am? So I've been gently discovering that all the work that I've been guided to do through my whole life has been all about the immortal parts of me, the matter parts of me, the material manifesting parts of me. Surrender through love to the eternal energy and the expansive essence, the big E, of who I am. And so I've come to say, I am me. I am me through love, all of me. All of the scared parts of me and all of the sacred parts of me. And if you look at the word scared and sacred, they're the same letters. And in those letters, the C is shifted. And I call that C a C of commitment. Every day of our daily journey, we're always committed. We're always committed. We're just choosing, are we committed to the scared part of us or to the sacred part of us? And that is, to me, the process, this beautiful process that we call life. It's the process of choosing the commitment to sacred. And so my aware journey of that commitment started when I was 5. Sure, it started earlier, but this is the first point of fear, of scared me, of that dimension of me that was playful, was happy. I was born in the former Soviet Union, in Ukrainian part of the Soviet Union. Ukraine has been placed on the map as a beacon of light and hope and freedom, I believe, amidst the darkness that is there to suffocate it, to show this, polarity that exists on this globe right now. And so I was born to the beginning of that, discovery. And at 5, I love playing. I have really no friends. By the way, you probably can't believe me very easily, but I'm panicky shy. I'm so shy. I have no friends. I just but I have imagination. Imagination is my best friend. So my mom and dad are at work, and my grandpa is watching me. And as he's watching me, I am playing with my dolls. And they're little tiny dolls, and they need to have a hanger for their clothes. I mean, it's a real thing, Your dolls need to have a hanger. Come on. What life is possible, Impossibility Coach, without a doll having a hanger, right? And I reach out to look around, and I see this little opening in the wall. It has 2 holes. And I have a metal pin in my hair, holding it up so conveniently. So I pull the metal pin out of my hair, and I plug it into the socket.
Oh.
The electrical charge in Ukraine is not 120, 110 as it is in the US. It is good. Oh, yeah, it's a good old 240 amps.
Yes.
I faithfully plug it in. And then, gratefully, a miracle happens. Now, of course, if I got shocked, maybe that'd be a different miracle, but I don't get shocked. The fuses blow. The fuses blow, and so does my grandpa, who runs into the room and screams at me, "What do you think you were doing? You were going to die." And I'm 5. I'm playing, and I'm told I'm about to die. And that is an imprint that becomes my friend from my scared me. If I have joy, it's dangerous, and I can die. I am to be afraid, not only of death, and I don't know what it is at that moment, but of living.
Yeah.
That fear locks in. For a second, before we go on in this journey of discovery, for a second, think of electricity coming to the house. The surge of electricity comes to the house at the same level of either 240 as it is in Ukraine, or at 110 amps. But when it goes through the devices in our house, the resistance within the devices will either expand or limit the power. So a 5-watt bulb in your fridge lets on only 5 watts of light. And a 100-watt bulb shines so ever brightly with 100 watts. So resistance is what stands in the way of the current of power. We are no different. We are infinite beings with the offering of infinite power to flow through us, so that we can give off the infinite light of our unique purpose. And the only thing in our way is the resistance we put to that power. I call that power love, life originating, vibrant emotion, energy in motion. As love, universal cosmic love, flows to us and through us and seeks to express the resistance of fear. Resistance saved my life as a child. Its job is to save, not to live fully. So the first level, the first dimension, even before we go into spatial dimensions of our everyday life, is that of resistance. If we are resisting, it is because the fear is keeping us in sheer survival mode. For me, that fear expanded and expanded and expanded. It wasn't even a few months later since that deep programming of fear of death and dying or even being alive materialized in the death of my other grandpa, the grandpa that I spent every summer in Ukraine in our little home with no indoor plumbing, with fresh water from the well, and with the amazing fresh berries. I would read books and eat berries. Grandpa watched me every summer. When my grandpa died, my second grandpa died, my mom's dad, I witnessed my fear become my reality. It was my first unconscious connection to divine. I was sitting on the bed in the little room in which I grew up. My grandma brought up 5 children in that one room. Those beds were standing around the family table, and Grandpa was laying right in the middle of the room. And I sat there, and the first feeling was that of grief. And I asked myself, was it because that I didn't eat well? I'm a bad eater. Somebody's listening. If I eat better, will my grandpa talk to me again? Lack of understanding, sheer fear. And that journey continued. The fear built up. The fear of death, it led to fear of drowning. I've experienced a couple moments in my life that were very devastating, of a body being washed over me as a child and then me physically drowning. It was expanding and building and building and building until I found myself in my life in such devastating grip of fear that it became the focus of my every breathing moment. I would ask this knowing that I didn't yet know as God or Creator that I refer to now. I would ask and say, how do I overcome the darkness? That was the wrong question to ask. You see, both in the Bible and New Age teachings, we have ask and you shall receive. And we think it's ask for things. And that's a lower frequency dimensional interpretation. But it is ask the question that the universe will answer. Ask, create a structure for receiving, and receive the flow that will come through. Shakespeare said it best, to be or not to be, that is the question. You see, I was asking over and over and over again, how not to be in the dark. Subconscious doesn't understand not. It does not. And so I was creating more and more dark. And it was the middle of the night that I was woken up when my health, my family, my finances, my relationship, that little girl that was fearful in Ukraine was now terrified in America with a family and the kids of her own, with a failing health, being tired, exhausted, diagnosed with a list of things. And that young woman was woken up in the middle of the night with a gorgeous, clear voice. You cannot chase or fight the darkness. You must turn on the light. You must turn on the light. Since the beginning and the name of my company, You Too Shine. From that day on, starting in early 2009, and through 2013, the company founded in 2014, I was asking one question. How do I turn on the light? How do I expand the light? I've become nourished by the light. I've become light seeker, light follower. I'm a light addict.
Absolutely. I'm getting tingles and chills with every sentence that comes out of your mouth, because it's exquisite truths that are just flowing through you from the divine.
I love the metaphor that you've given. I haven't heard it this way before. It's just wonderful. We all get the same power source. We have the choice to use it or resist it, and we can be 5 watts or 100 watts. We all have the same source.
Yeah.
Plug in, people.
Yay.
Plug in.
Okay. I want you to continue just like you wish to continue, but I'm dying to hear a little more about your nephew.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what I wanted to point out to us, is that we each find, connect, and expand into the light at the precise moment that is eternally available to us. There is no missed opportunities, just beautiful guiding lessons. It's never too late. And fear of missing out is just that. It's fear. And we know where to love it until it disappears. And so all that journey, not once I can say, oh, I wished I had discovered something earlier. And the reason why not is my little nephew. My little nephew, his name is Alex. And he was born on December 28th. Let me count it down the year now so that if my sister-in-law watches it, we're still friends. Let me get the year out. He's going to be 6. He's going to be 6 in this December. So it's 2022. So he was born in 2016, right? Okay, help me out with math. But just about a year and a half prior to his birth, I had a very, very strong feeling, was guided to get into one specific modality that is called theta healing. At that time, I already mastered neuro-linguistic programming, EFT, Reiki, you name it. If it had an aspect of light, I was in it, through it, loving it, doing it. Theta healing was a new thing. And it was a very interesting, urgent yet peaceful guidance. You need to go all the way, translation, 28 practitioner courses, 28 instructor courses, and as fast of a pace as possible. It was not very convenient. We're talking about 2 to 3 weeks a month dedicated to going deep into studying, learning, while running a full business, while having kids at home. But it was non-negotiable. And it was when he was 7 months in utero that I believe we knew the answer why there was such a guidance towards that. He was diagnosed in utero with coarctation of his artery. His artery was clipped, which meant that it wasn't fully opening and he wouldn't be getting oxygen to his heart. The doctor said, now, this condition happens and the surgery is minor, but because it is a surgery, he will need to be in a special birthing process. As the pregnancy continued, they found other heart conditions. By the time he was born, surrounded by the team of nurses and doctors and surgeons and a helicopter nurse, I was allowed to go in as his doula. I'm no doula, I'm just a healer, but that was the way to be in. We didn't realize that the helicopter nurse was not there for the baby. The helicopter nurse was there in case this precious little baby was to continue into another dimension, and the organs would be then offered to other babies.
Yeah.
So in that room full of people, a beautiful thing happened. I saw us all being surrounded by our ancestors at the time of the baby being born. And as he was born, he was immediately hooked up to different medications to keep his lungs pumping and his blood going. He was given steroid to make him live through surgery, which was scheduled for 2 days later. He had 2 valves that had a gap. They were not closing. If you think of a valve as a door in a heart that has to open and close, that's what pushes the blood through the heart. His valves were not closing. There was a significant gap in each valve. Those were the 2 conditions. He had severe coarctation of the artery. He had a hole in his heart, and he had a murmur in his heart. So we have 48 hours till the surgery. Born on Tuesday, surgery is supposed to be Thursday. And every single healing modality that I've been guided to have discovered, learned, and applied until then, I was called to heal. I would come and spend hours at the hospital with my amazing sister-in-law and my brother. There were people in Brazil who were praying for these 2 days. There was one moment when I was doing a healing and there was a prayer, and I saw these little sparks of light. God showed me that there is no unused prayer, that every prayer, healing intention is a spark of light that creates a prototype of the reality we want. And that unless it is divinely appointed for that reality not to happen, once the prayer and energy of healing is complete, that reality is granted into our physical being. So if you ever question whether what you have to offer in terms of sustaining light is needed, it is. It is. It is. It is a part of the blueprint of creation. Within 2 days, on the day of surgery, prepping him for the surgery, the doctors took over 200 images of his heart because in front of their eyes, the artery was opening. His file was medical miracle for that part. And then he had to come every week because at 2 years of age, he was to be scheduled for the valve surgery unless it was severe enough to do it at 3 months and at 6 months. Within 3 months, the valves were closed of continued healing and prayer and light. Within 6 months, the hole and the murmur were gone. Cardiac babies are born tiny. They're born tiny. They're not even making it to the 10th percentile. I believe he was our little hero at 12th percentile or so, full term. By the time he was 1 year old, he was taken off cardiac watch because there was no justifiable cause. I have witnessed many miracles of clients and friends, yet that continues to be the miracle of love in my life. And when I have a discouraged client, I always share the miracle of a little heart capable of so much love that it overcame all the physical conditions. That is the story of my nephew, my little Alex. He is now almost 6, and he is one of the brightest, fastest guys who runs nonstop, which, by the way, with heart condition, you can't. Super active, super brilliant. And by brilliant, I mean brilliant, not just smart.
Oh my God.
What a beautiful...
I get so excited when I hear those kinds of stories.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Yeah.
I think we are almost out of time.
It's hard to believe.
I know. Why don't you tell people where they can find this lovely lady?
Yeah, well,
I
love the name of your company, which is You To Shine. But you've had a fun play with the words. You've spelt it with a Y, U, and the number 2. Y, U, the number 2, shine. But the message is you to shine. I think what your example shows us of what is possible. And that is your website, you2shine.com. And you can connect with Victoria on that website. She has amazing apps with the Me. Oh, yeah. I love that explanation of your understanding of marketing with Me, and then getting the divine knowledge of what it actually really represents. So you are bridging between the material world and the physical world. Is there any last words that you want to share with us?
Just as a reminder that if the infinite divine mind comprehended that there could have been a better use of the time and space continuum that everyone occupies, it would be so. So you, as you are right now, are a perfect version of creation. So keep surrendering to love.
Oh,
that
awesome.
Is so beautiful. Keep surrendering to love.
Oh, that's so great.
Absolutely.
What a wonderful time we've had with you. And I just love to turn you loose and let you go, and I could listen to you talk for a very long time. Of course, that's your specialty, is empowering others and showing them how. And that's what we're all about on this program. So thank you so much, Victoria, for being with us.
Thank you. It's a real, genuine honor and pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I am going to carry that surrendering of love into this break as we take a 10-minute break, and then we'll see you back here for the Circle of 12.